COVID-19 pandemic has created the largest disruption of education systems in human history, affecting nearly 1.6 billion learners in more than 200 countries. Closures of schools, institutions, and other learning spaces have impacted more than 94% of the world's student population. This has brought far-reaching changes in all aspects of our lives. Social distancing and restrictive movement policies have significantly disturbed traditional educational practices. Within a short span of the COVID-19 pandemic, many researchers have shared their works on teaching and learning in different ways. Several schools, colleges, and universities have discontinued face-to-face teachings. The need to innovate and implement alternative educational system and assessment strategies must be the top priority. The COVID-19 pandemic has provided us with an opportunity to pave the way for introducing digital learning. There is a paradigm shift in the way educators deliver quality education through various online platforms. The online learning, distance and continuing education have become a panacea for this unprecedented global pandemic despite the challenges posed to both educators and learners. Transitioning from traditional face-to-face learning to online learning can be an entirely different experience for the learners and the educators, which they must adapt to with little or no other alternatives available. The education system and the educators have adopted education in emergency through various online platforms and are compelled to adopt a system that they are not prepared for. E-learning tools have played a crucial role during this pandemic. While adapting to the new changes, staff and student readiness needs to be gauged and supported accordingly. The learners with a fixed mindset find it difficult to adopt and adjust, whereas the learners with a growth mindset quickly adapt to a new learning environment. There is no one-size-fits-all pedagogy for online learning. While governments, frontline workers, and health officials are doing their best slowing down the outbreak, education systems are trying to continue imparting quality education for all during these difficult times. The use of suitable and relevant pedagogy for online education may depend on the expertise and exposure to information and communications technology, otherwise known as the ICT, for both educators and learners. Some of the online platforms used so far are Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, Canvas, and Blackboard, which allow the teachers to create educational courses, training and skill development programs. They include options of workplace, chat, video meeting, and file storage that keep classes organized and easy to work. They usually support the sharing of a variety of content like Word, PDF, Excel file, audio videos, and a lot more. Tracking of students' learning and assessment by using quizzes and the rubric-based assessment of submitted assignments are now used. The virtual classroom platforms like video conferencing, Google Hangout Meets, Zoom, Slack, Cisco, WebEx, and customizable cloud-based learning management platforms such as Ilias, Moodle, Big Blue Button, and Skype are increasingly being used to deepen understanding through discussion with faculty and peers.
December 16, 2021. The Super Typhoon Odette left an indelible mark in the history of Siargao Islands, with hundreds of families losing their homes and millions of infrastructure damages, causing the community to lose their livelihood. After all, surviving the typhoon was not the worst part. Living through the aftermath is. The disaster contributes to external factors that affects our students' academic performance. Furthermore, the prompt implementation of modular distance learning because of COVID-19 pandemic is incompatible with the socioeconomic status of our children's family and may be the primary cause of the increased number of non-readers in our school. The demand for modular distance learning is so unusual to the parents in the small community where our school is located. The parents were not equipped with knowledge, materials, or strategies to assist learners in meeting the depth competency set through modules. Children spend a lot of time with their families, and that time is crucial in developing their consciousness and influencing their study behavior. Several risk factors exist in families that can contribute to children's problem behaviors at school. Academic failure, which began in the late elementary grades, contribute the large impact of family conditioned behavior on their children. According to a straightforward argument, we can conclude that the children of criminals are more likely to engage in criminal activities themselves, just like children of alcoholics are more likely to experience alcoholism themselves. The most important factor that will help children excel in school is family management. Parents will simply support and monitor their children's academic performance in class. Failure to monitor children will result in poor academic performance. As a result, non-reader students will drop out or continue to higher grades with inadequate skills, disrupting the curriculum's spiral progression. Inconsistent discipline is one of the most common family management issues. We know that those children belong to this family are subjected to poor academic performance and more likely to struggle with important skills and knowledge development. We can reduce behavior problems by simply assisting parents in setting clear expectation for their children. So the challenge is on, and it is in our hands, parents and teachers, to strive and win this as one.
K-12 basic education is complex. Even those who are deep in education research readily acknowledge that multitude of factors affect education. One of these factors is politics, which play the huge role in shaping education. It is no secret that human history has seen plenty of examples in which political ideology interfered with education policy and decision-making in the national level. Not only are public schools affected, but also the private schools. This interference does not always have to be positive or negative. It is too complicated to be established in such simple categories. When COVID-19 pandemic struck our country, where there has been uncertainty, confusion, and instability, political interference in education was welcome. Our safety was guaranteed when our former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte approved and announced the IATF resolution on draft measures to fight COVID-19, including the strict compliance to safety health protocols, bans on mass gatherings, community lockdown, and of course, school closures. Traditional classrooms were suspended, and the supervision of the students became the responsibility of the parents and the local government units. The local government units took steps to guarantee that no students wandered off and visited malls, movie theaters, marketplaces, cafes, and other populated areas. Students, parents, and the local government all contributed to making sure that students stayed at home and completed their homework while the schools were closed, making the policy effective. Furthermore, our local government units, as well as the non-government organizations and other external partners affiliated with our school to provide learning materials to learners, parents, guardians, teachers, and personnel. Initiatives of our local governments included identifying the suitable modality of learning for our school. Also, providing printing equipment for modules, vehicle for distributing and retrieving modules, electronic devices like tablets and laptops, engaging partnership with internet providers for a better connection, collaborating with local media for radio and television-based instruction. And of course, the items concerning the implementation of safety and health protocols in our school. In addition, LGUs in partnership with field offices provided training for our teachers and parents for them to adapt the new normal of education. These initiatives were conducted while observing the required health protocols for COVID-19. Even with the school closure, physical improvement and development did not cease. Some of these improvements are the following: the painting of tennis court, installation of net with posts, and construction of umpire's chair. The renovation of the senior high school and junior high school administration office. The construction of the ESP park and learning kiosks. The construction of the second floor of the David building. The construction of our perimeter fence in school. The renovation and rehabilitation of 3 ICT rooms and hallways, and of course, many more. All of these initiatives serves as preparations for when we return to regular education, when our government finally agreed to let our children return to the traditional classroom setting. We are grateful and very thankful that we had external stakeholders like the local government units, wherein their political interference and engagement through financial assistance or funding became very important. Thank you, and God bless us all.